Awesome having you back. Art in the Boxes. Welcome. I'm Kim. And once again, I give you art with pleasure. So make sure you have your art apron on, an old t-shirt, something to cover the surface. I've got to remind you guys because sometimes we get so excited we forget these important things. I often do. I know that for a fact. So today's project, we're going to be doing quite a masterpiece. It looks very professional, but don't let it kid you because it's simple, easy peasy. You can see it's 3 flowers with their stems and a few leaves. I'm going to show you a very easy way to do it, and I'll take you through it step by step. I'm here to guide you, to egg you on, to make sure that you have no hiccups along the way. So we're using quite an interesting material today. I'm sure everybody knows bubble wrap. We all love bubble wrap, especially when we use our finger and our thumb and our index finger and we go pop. Love it. It's cause and effect. It's giving you a reaction. Oh, and it's so soothing doing that. For me it is. I know I sound crazy, but that's how we familiarize ourselves with this wonderful material. But we're going to be using it for art today. Why? Because it's a great way to create interesting patterns and shapes, especially with paint. You'll see that it's a lot of cause and effect. What I mean by that is when you press down your bubble wrap, if you press a little harder than in other areas, there'll be more paint on your canvas. So that'll come out darker colors. It's also a very important skill at this age because it's making sure that hand movement is on par with their vision. Okay, so there's a lot of skills in today's project. With all my projects, they'll be learning a skill, and this will just help them in the future, getting ready for school, having pencil grip problems, because most of this is all motor skills, predominantly fine motor skills. Anyway, before I get going, what you need to take out your box. Right. You need your A4 canvas, your A4 blank canvas. You're going to get your bubble wrap template, looking like that. You'll have a big circle, a medium-sized circle, and a smaller circle. Okay, that's what you're going to get. Guys, your paint will come in pots. Did you hear that? Went pop. Because I had my elbow on it. I could do that all day long. You're going to get black paint. You're going to get lime green. You're going to get a little dash of white because we won't really need a lot of it. And this beautiful blue. It's called summer blue. All acrylic paint. And we're going to get a bunch of Q-tips. I've just put an elastic band around mine. Sometimes that helps just for grip for them. But otherwise, I'm just showing you. Otherwise, I just hold them. There's probably 2, 4, 6 in here. And I just hold them and use like that because it's also good for grip. Okay, so I'm not going to have my pair of scissors like you will. So what I've already done is cut out my templates, as you can see. Small, medium, and big. So that's what you'll do with your templates. First things first, you'll cut out your templates. Right. Guys, you'll also get a paper plate. That's to use for your paints. You'll get a paintbrush. Make sure that you have an old jar of water because we're using different colors and we need to keep the paint clean as possible. So just to make sure that your paintbrush is clean and it doesn't collect in the brushes, and we're going to look after our brushes because there will be a next time that we need to use them. So, and as important, I can't live without my paper towel, as I'm sure you have learnt by now. Or, as I always say, newspaper is also absolutely perfect. So let's start. I'm going to take my black. Okay, my paintbrush has been in this water. I'm just going to dab it off. Take some paint from my pots. Obviously you will get pots, your own pots of paint. I just thought let's do a black background, because with these colors that I'm using, it just pops. And it really makes a statement. So guys, can you see how I'm holding my brush? Oops, let's just put that there for the time being, because I'm going to use my other colors and put it in the paper plate. So as I always say, if you want to start off with your edges, okay, because we don't want any white bits sticking out. Let's just see now. Oh, no, I've missed a whole bunch here. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's go to the side. It's probably better just to start off with your sides, guys, because you can smooth the paint out if you've got extra bits hanging on the side. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're going to get very dirty in this project, but that's part of the fun, don't you think? Definitely. Okay, we're almost there. So right, I've done my edges. Now I'm going to carry on painting. Guys, look at the strokes. It's up, down, up, down. For this age group, I think it would definitely benefit them to paint in this style, because the paintbrushes, I think, is very important, the size of the paintbrush, because it's all about having the proper pencil grip. So they would normally start out with a thicker brush, because it gives them a better grip and control of what they're doing. Right. And then the older they become, they've got a good pencil, strong pencil grip, they'll go to a thinner brush. So that's my advice. So as you can see, it went fairly quickly. So just got a few little white gaps. Right, I'm happy with that. Guys, it's very, very important, right, once we painted our black, that you let the canvas dry. It's got to be bone dry. And I always say, you know it's dry. Acrylic dries fairly fast compared to oils. You know it's dry because it dries like a matte color. Matte meaning it hasn't got a shine. And then mostly acrylic paints also dry very flat, which is a good thing. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Okay guys, so now we see the canvas is completely dry. As you see, there's no, it looks shiny maybe because of the lighting, but it's matte black. Okay, so remember also, keep your direction the same when painting. That's my advice. Have a good strong pencil grip or grip on your paintbrush and just go up, down, up, down, kind of to give it a kind of smooth, blessed surface. Also remember that if your canvas is wet, because we're using beautiful bright colors, that we don't want the black to mix with these beautiful colors and make them dull, because they will just go very dull and darker. So we don't want to mix our colors. So guys, as you can see, I've started a little bit because I got so excited. We take our summer blue, put some in our paper plate, and we start, decide where you want what color. Okay, I'm going to decide the big one's going to be blue, the middle one's going to be lime green, and the smaller one is going to be blue too. If you all want them the same color, absolutely, this is your masterpiece. Make it your own. if you want one side blue and the other side green, just remember to keep cleaning your brushes in between to get the good clean colors that are from the pot. Okay, but I've decided I'm going to keep mine solid paint, my bubble wrap. Doesn't have to be huge amounts of paint, just coat it kind of lightly, but make sure all the bubbles have got some paint on. Okay, right, I'm happy with that. I'm going to put my paintbrush to the side. Excuse me. Remember, guys, don't paint the flat surface. You're painting the soft, puffy pouches. That's the texture we want. Right, so I'm going to place my big circle right on the top. I'm going to press lightly. If we press too hard, the bubbles are going to pop, aren't they? I know we're all very, very tempted, but maybe save that for later. So just go maybe in a round circle with your index finger. Turn, 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 making sure all the paint is absorbed onto your canvas and you get that speckled effect. All right, let's peel it off gently. Wow. Awesome. You see, because we've got the black background with that blue, you see how it just pops. That's so exciting. I love anything that's out of the ordinary, or something that's got a little bit of a je ne sais quoi. I know it's a very fancy word, but just like something that's beautiful to you. This is beautiful to me, but it doesn't have to be beautiful to you. See, guys, I'm cleaning my brush because now I'm going to lime green. Definitely summer's around the corner. So I'm going to take a little bit here, not a lot, because I'm just using the lime green for the stems and the leaves, and also for my middle size bubble wrap. Once again, don't use the flat surface, you use the soft pouchy surface. I put it flat on my desk and hold with one hand, making sure that I've coated all these pouches. All right. Okay, as I say, not too much paint, guys, because otherwise it's going to be all blobby and it's going to take forever to dry, because there's another technique we're using on top of the bubble wrap. Okay, so now I'm going to take my lime green and I'm going to place it a little bit over my blue. And like we did with the blue, we're going to pat it gently, maybe just using your index finger once again, making sure not too hard. We don't want to pop the bubbles just yet. Go from the outside to the inside. Once you feel that you've got all the paint on the canvas and you've patted all these little bubbles like good little children, you can peel it off gently. Wow. Makes me so excited. Right, I've decided that I'm going to go back to the blue for my third flower. The third flower, the smallest circle. Clean my brush, very important. We don't want the colors to mix. Right, I'm going back to blue. Put my small circle down. Once again, make sure it's the bubble side, not the flat side. Put paint all over them. Not too much, as I said. I know we're very tempted at times, but you'll see it'll work out better. So now I'm placing, I think there, in the middle-ish, a little bit overlapping the green one. It's all artistic license. It's kind of what you see. You might see something different to the way I see something. So this is why we have this creative brain, to tell us these important things. Great. So there we go, using my index finger. Pat, 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 pat. Not too hard. We don't want to hear a pop and a splat. Right. Peel off gently. And voila. Look at that. Super, super, super. There's a little bit of something there. We'll just blow it away. Guys, I've given you a minuscule amount of white because we don't need a lot of white. This is basically to blend. We're going to use our Q-tips to blend. Okay, so I've just put an elastic band around mine just to kind of keep it. If you want, I'm just showing you. But otherwise, normally I would just hold it in my hand like a pencil because there's only 6 of them. So, oh my goodness. That was a funny sound. Right. So now, as you see, they're all even on the top. Okay, there's not one long one sticking out. They're all even. They're all flat, kind of even. So I'm going to dip my Q-tips and then pat it because I don't want too much white on because I want to give it like a speckled, softer effect. And just give it light and dark. This is what it's all about. Actually making the flower come to life. And filling those little gaps, making it more realistic. You don't have to do what I do, guys. This is just to guide you, give you, to add more fun, I think. Because also using Q-tips is not our normal way of painting, is it? Okay, if you see you want, okay, I'm happy with that very light because then you add more white. Okay, yes, I want it very light, okay, because maybe the sun's catching it from that side. So that's the way we've got to look at it. We're kind of closing the gaps. There we go. Take a step back, have a look at it. Okay, I want to close these gaps here, maybe adding some more white. Okay, maybe just adding a little bit of a softness around the edge and it's not so hard. You see it forms. Oh, loving it. Right, seeing that we're on the blue side, I'm going to do the blue one. Right, you see I've got a lot of blue and white on my Q-tips. So think to yourself where you want the light pieces on your flowers. So we want to close the gaps in between. We're going to soften the edges, make them look all fluffy. And I'm very happy with that. See, I'm going to look at my painting from a distance. Maybe I want to close more gaps and add more white. Okay, to make it look more realistic. A lot of white around there. And you see, I just tapped around the edges. Okay, looking here, I want more realistic kind of, oops, there's a, okay. So guys, we've used the blue on this side of the Q-tips. Now we're going to go to the green. Now we go the other side of the paint, so we don't mix the blue with the green. And now we start dabbing the green. Look at that. See what an amazing effect it can give us. And this is like, you press hard, it's going to give you a different look to if you press soft. So that's all cause and effect. So that's all up to you. It's your discretion. So whatever I do, you don't necessarily have to do. If you want to add another flower or make this whole canvas flowers, you're more than welcome. I'm just giving you ideas to work with, to inspire you for maybe future projects that you want to try on your own. But this is art's wonderful because it teaches you so much without you even realizing it. Okay, so I want to dab it in the middle here because I just feel it needs a little bit softness. It's not too hard because most flowers are quite delicate. We want to give it that delicate look. Okay, so I'm pretty happy. Can you see, guys? Okay. So now, because we've used green, we take one of our Q-tips with green because we're not wasting. It's all about recycling. It's all about using what we can. And we're going to add some stems and leaves. So, whatever direction you want to go in, because the flowers are leaning to the left, okay, on my canvas, I'm going to make sure that the stem is kind of also leaning to the left. Join it at the top. I'm going to add a leaf. Guys, we get many, many different shapes of leaves. This is just a guideline to show you what you can do. Now remember, the big one is at the back of the two front ones, and it also needs a stem. We can't leave him out. No. So I draw the middle one, adding maybe a baby leaf. Okay. Then I take this one. I kind of cement them all to the same point because my eye tells me that's right. You might have a different point of view. So take that and I'll do a leaf here. If you want to color your leaves in, absolutely go for it. No problem. So that tells me that stem's going to that top flower, this stem is going to the middle flower, and this stem is going to the bottom flower. I'm just thinking now, guys, if you want to add a little bit of white, sort of, not too much like I've got, maybe just to make light dark, you can, or you can even, as I said earlier, color your leaf in, make a little fancy little tail on the leaf, just play around. We're adding like a little bit of light and dark, we're making it quite realistic. I just use my fingers for a lot of things. Okay, as you can see, I love the feeling of paint on my fingers. Okay. See, from a distance, it will probably really work well. Just on there, maybe the edges, just maybe there, because this Q-tip is going to give you quite amazing lines and patterns, as we see here. I'm thinking, do you know what? I don't know what's telling me, but I need a baby leaf there. Okay. Guys, this is very, very wet. But as you can see, there is my masterpiece, and I'm sure yours will be much better than mine, no doubt. Guys, you want to add some value to this painting, I suggest you write your name. Why not? So when you put it in your room, or you give it to Gran, or you give it to someone as a praisee, they will always remember who it's from. And be so proud of this, because I'm very proud. And look how easy it was. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Guys, love you lots. Till next time. Cheers.